How are you doing over there? I hope you're doing wonderfully well. This is the Usual Suspect Studio once again. Pastor Michael, then Peter, our able cameraman behind the scene. Always giving you our, always giving you a good shot. You get to see our silly smart beard. Okay, today is Wednesday, Thursday, sorry. Thursday, and a lot of stories there taken around. As usual, we'll be giving you tidbits. So, we'll give you tidbits. So just take this. Okay, so the person has it been today. Very fine. Okay. So we saw a lot of social media around, and all over the place. So which one can you say is speaking of like stories that we have today?
From Sudan. Okay. Some of them were paying money to urinate, and also they were sexually harassed. Assault, sorry.
They were sexually assaulted.
Yes.
Okay. Of course, when it comes to this kind of situation, you can really expect a lot of things to happen because of people are desperate to be safe. They want to move out, and a lot of other people also who want to exploit them. Talking about that area, so we can also see a lot of property, of course, will be missing in the kind of movement and all that. Of course, that young man around you or that young lady around you that look for opportunity to hurt you, and that is a kind of opportunity. Of course, you also want to do what you want to do and all that. So some of this is actually expected, but it's a bad thing. It's not a good thing at all. But we thank God that at least some of them, they're alive.
Yeah.
It's very important that you stay alive. But we're coming to that story, and we're just going to start from somewhere where we see that that's in the Vanguard, where we read that NLC, TUC, and KICS estimates OK's federal government's 22.7 trillion loan. And the story reads and said Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, and Trade Union Congress of Nigeria yesterday picked holes in Senate approval of President Muhammadu Buhari's controversial 22.72 trillion Ways and Means request, describing it as shocking and suspicious. The Senate had yesterday gave into pressure and approved President Buhari's request to restructure the sum of 22.72 trillion Ways and Means advance made to ensure the government was not shut down. So the approval, there's a suspicion. Why? You're already leaving the administration is rounding up. Why would you be approving this kind of amount of money? It's just 26 days. Today is 4th, right?
Today is 4th, yeah.
So 23 days to go, and you're approving money. For what purpose? How do you see this, Mr. Peter?
And this is, I don't know, but I don't know. Is it trying to create more debt for the incoming government or what? Because I see no reason why by this time, when you have limited time in the office, you still be collecting loan. It's not okay at all.
Because the way it is right now, I don't really think Senate should have approved this volume of money at this time. At least they should have managed whatever they have and just hand over. Let the next administration think of how they can take care of themselves. Mr. Peter, we saw. I keep making reference to Peter Obi. When he was campaigning, some of the things we heard was that he left a lot of money for the next administration.
Yes.
And there was a guideline that this money should be spent on this.
Yes, when he was the governor. Right?
And now we see administration handing over debts. I even want to collect more. It doesn't. It's alarming. It's alarming. So the NLC and TUC, they're not comfortable with this, and they're ever surprised why should Senate approve this. It now appears as if there's no the Senate, the executive, judiciary, and the legislature. I see there's no difference. There's no separation anymore. I see they're working together in everything they do. People have been complaining that this Senate has been rubber stamp and all that, and this just flat to prove that right now. Approving this kind of money at this time.
22.7.
It's a lot of money, and I don't know what the next administration, whoever is coming in, of course, will have president-elect. We don't know how they are going to handle this kind of crisis as far as I'm concerned. Is this financial crisis? Okay, let's just move on. And I'm sure that the necessary body that can actually speak on this already on the matter. And okay, we have that story I talked about. Now coming back to the Sudan crisis, we are sexually harassed, paid to urinate. Nigerian student recount ordeal. I think we mentioned this earlier. And if you read down the story, you see what they are talking about there. So the student said, returning Nigerian students who were airlifted back to Nigeria from Egypt have recounted their ordeal, alleging that some females were sexually harassed and were also broke to the extent of picking things from shops and run away. His only female student told journalists on arrival at the international airport, Abuja, that they faced humiliation and slept in the open. We spent all the money we had. We were so hungry and thirsty. They were harassing us sexually. There was no food, no water to drink. It got to a point we picked things from shops and ran away. The only female student spoke of her excruciating experience while at the border. Another female student told BBC House of Service in an interview that their legs were swollen due to long hours of stay in the bus. Speaking on his experience, the female student said the situation was so bad that they even had to pay money before they were allowed to urinate, and hoped the war would soon end to enable him go back to Sudan and complete just a semester to round up his program. So he still hope to go back and finish his program. This is what we were talking about last time, Peter. If they can there's a way they can continue their education here, rather than going back there, because a war-ravaged environment, you are not sure to meet the place where you left. What makes your school is blown up during this war, this crisis and all that? Which school are you going to go back to now and finish your education? I think you should just strategize now.
Our own that person's own is even better. Why I say so is because I know they might come up with something like, recently now people can study, you can study from
distance online.
From online, you understand? So if that person is having just a semester, the person can study online, even his own exam also, he or she can do it online, and then
Yes, seriously, there is
when as the war is going on now,
you can still continue it, but the studies, they can do it online via virtual or something.
Yeah.
They can actually connect with the students and see how they can finish up. But I really don't want that young man to think of
going
back for now. If maybe the federal government should look for a means of ensuring that the students don't just stop where this war met them, and they should find a way to see how they can merge them up with the students in Nigeria, possibly in some higher institution that is at that level, so they can be able to finish up. I think that's what's happen. They can, because definitely he loves his education. He wants to finish, but the world is not allowing this. So that doesn't mean that he must sit down at home and not do anything. And I'm sure that the federal government is also looking into this, because they are students. They need to continue their education. And the ones complaining about sexual harassment, we know that when it comes to a war, in this constitution, a lot of things happen. And you are alive. Thank God for that. Because you don't expect who's going to arrest them, who harassed you now. Who will find them? Where will you see them? Where will you see them? It's a very bad thing, bad situation, but thank God you are alive. Yes, that's ultimate. Okay, so of course we know that some of them arrived. The first batch arrived yesterday. I see that story on also in China's online. First batch of Nigerian students, Nigerians fleeing Sudan, finally arrived in Abuja, and of course they were lifted by Air Peace, Nigeria, Air Force, and also then is it Asma Air? Yeah, it's one of the airline also supported as should be. I think Asma Air also supported to ensure that they arrived Nigeria. So and about 200 over 217. So where's no, I says from the China television news you can see that the Air Peace flight carrying over 270 Nigerian students from the Aswan airport in Egypt has landed at the. So let's see. I listened to Alan Oyema today on the station, on the radio station, and he was talking about the process they went through to be able to actually lift Nigerians, and the delay they experienced in Egypt. That the Egyptians were allowing them to move at once. They were like they had to in the batches. They were expected to move everybody at once. That they were being told back and forth. There was delay. They had to go to hotel and lodge and all that. A lot of processing was taking place. That they got to a point that they had to make arrangement whereby luggages were much. They were to like, okay, help you take the luggages, like the Nigeria Air Force, the students and all that. So they have to make it that way. Of course, if you see that video, we saw that day when the young man was complaining. You saw the baggages on the ground, luggage on the ground was much, and there's a kind of level of weight that an airline can lift. So there was really hurdle. Yes, there was really hurdle in the from the Egyptian side. No, technically too is expected wide, but not that much, because they have to be careful, so that there won't be filtration in their system, so that somebody will not carry this to come terrorists will not use the advantage to come because as this is going on, Mr. Peter, I can tell you there are a lot of terrorists also planning ahead of this, trying to use the advantage to attack. And these people, the Egyptians, have been very careful so that this would not happen. But, then one other person was making comment on radio also. He called, was making comment. What was his comment? He said that other people that were lifted for other countries, they didn't pass through much hurdle like ours. That there's too much suspicions on Nigeria. That even the African country also suspecting us in every way. That once they discover you have Nigerian passport, green passport, they put you on one line. No, Mr. Peter, if this is happening in the white other country, UK, US, and all that stuff, but we can try to understand because of the past history we've had of people fraudulently making away with postman and all that. But in Africa country, ECOWAS country, this is serious.
The Nigerians are so smart.
No, this Mr. Peter, this is a serious embarrassment right now. They don't even know who is good, who is bad anymore. As far as you are a Nigerian, there's a very likelihood that they suspect to be a criminal or something.
Most especially those 419 and Yahoo.
So how do we, at the question, how do we clean up this bad image? How do we clean it up?
I think by cleaning it up, first, our leaders need to, they will contribute a lot to this by making the country conducive for people to live, that you provide job for people, you understand? Make the place, you understand what I mean by making the place conducive for people to live.
I think it boils back to our leader. We need somebody that will be able to represent us very well.
Yeah.
We need to clean up this bad name. Somebody was also making a comment when they said that. The video was sent across, and I was fortunate to listen to it, and it was like came on national television and was making reference to Nigeria, that the best brains are from Nigeria, but they are not in Nigeria. You see, if you go anywhere in the world, go to any hospital, go someplace, even in the banking system and all that, you see the top guys in that place are Nigerians, but they are not in Nigeria. They have been exported, and when a country cannot harness their resources, other country will take advantage of it. And that country are really taking advantage of us. Our brains have been exported, and they're going out there. We are suffering. When anybody falls sick right now, they are thinking of how they can take their loved ones overseas to go and meet the same people they neglected here. Do you understand me? It's a very terrible cycle. A very terrible cycle. To the extent that even the presidents of our country can actually also do that. Go over there and take treatment. And while the resources at your disposal, to just give order, and such situation is difficult. Even the loan we are borrowing, all this money we are borrowing, if this money was actually invested in a health care system, everybody will applaud them. Everybody will applaud them, because I really feel I feel bad about this person. This is my personal opinion. You cannot have the power to make a lasting change, and you fail to do it. Then, when you fall sick tomorrow, you travel out to go and treat yourself.
And then same Nigerian doctor that traveled from
and you are saying that the Nigerian doctor mustn't leave until after 5 years. You want to pass a law that the Nigerian doctor mustn't leave after 5 years when they are done with their job. And you can't give them what they need to stay on. You can't give them the actual salary they need to be able to sustain, to stay on. But you want them to stay. That's the intentional wickedness. Let me use that word. Yes. I cannot spend money and educate myself and look around. I can't get a job that suits my qualification. And I decide to go outside the country to go and get a better life. You say I mustn't go. Did you pay my school fees for me, for God's sake? All the torment I've gone through, were you responsible for it? So I think there's something we won't talk about at all. Let's put the right structure in place.
Yeah, before we say anything.
Imagine who want to go outside country and be a slave to anybody. One thing I love about Nigeria, there's freedom here. There's peace, and you love food, of course. I like food. There's a lot of beautiful food you can eat, for example, some Kwabi, all the stuff and all that. They're all here. And you don't spend so much to get them.
No.
So then if you have a good job, good environment and all that, what's the need? You have stable electricity, the water is okay, and the security, and you are getting paid, well paid, and everything you want to go over there and look for, they're all here. Why would you want to bother to go out there? Except when you go and have fun and come back. This is what we're talking about. And I think each time I start talking about the story of Nigeria, I keep saying there is a lot of work in this country. And this work, a vibrant president is needed to spearhead this. The president will take it up as a mandate, as a task that this is what I want. I want this country to be like this. He will have a country in his mind I want the country to be like. So he will have that in his mind. Not the type that will be thinking like the story we are saying already. I think we'll just look at that story right now. Like talking about I think when this man went to the president-elect was in I think at Rivers, right?
Okay, yeah.
Rivers, and some issue was up, and the comment was being made, and he said something. He said, "I don't know who you." Okay, that story should be in was it Vanguard? Okay, I cannot find it at the moment, but a lot of shaking already. Okay, I think it's in China's news platform. You can see there the president-elect saying that I owe you nothing. Tinubu quips over Wiki's project refund. But is it also hasty? Because they have not really entered, they have not been sworn in, and the request is already being made for refund of project. If you may ask, was it the reason why Wiki was really working for Tinubu, hoping Tinubu will be the one to be able to help him to pay him back or something? I'm going to read that story so that you can see what is behind it. So the president-elect Bola Tinubu, in a light-hearted tone, turned down a request by Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State for a refund after embarking on the construction of some federal roads in the state. Tinubu, who spoke on Wednesday while inaugurating the Rumo-Kuta Rumuala flyover in Abia, local government area of the state, said he doesn't owe Wike a dime. The president-elect asked Wike to lobby him for a refund. Okay, concerning the 12th flyover and the demand you made for a refund, I owe you nothing. It is your rules, Tinubu said to the admiration of the crowd.
Yeah, I like that.
You can't put me in a choke head and make a demand. You are the one living on this road. I commend your effort. You have to lobby me to collect it. As you make people happy, create excitement and development across this state, we have something to look forward to. Nigeria, you and I must discuss that. Not expected indebtedness. So he's saying, yeah, I don't owe you. If you want this refund, you have to come and beg. Let me well, come and beg me to give you back. Come and lobby for it. So don't make me feel as if I'm owing you anything, which I may give to you, I might not give it to you. I think that is what I'm going to see. How do you see this gesture?
That's good. I love that because my question now is if he's refunding back this money, is the money going to Wike's account or the state's account?
It depends on where Wike gets the money out of fund the project in the first place. The money he used to fund the project, was it from his own pocket or from the state account? So wherever the money comes out from, if there's a need for refund, that's where the money will go to.
Okay.
So a lot of dramas are really coming up. It's a pity. Dramas are really coming up. So okay, the stories are still there. We see one story, Vanguard newspaper, Vanguard News, online news. We talked about Lamidi Apapa suspends Kenneth Okonkwo, 11 orders over alleged anti-party activities. Now the question is, who is suspending who anyway? Because we learned recently that Apapa was suspended, right? Okay, now he is coming back to suspend those I feel that actually very outspoken, because in the lights of Kenneth Okonkwo, he's really very active when it comes to, he's very vocal when it comes to the issue of LP. Just when we have the likes of this barrister son, son in APC, this son in the APC, that's very vocal.
Fani Kayode or...
Okay, the likes of Fani Kayode and this other son, no, not Fani Kayode is one of them, but what's his name again? I've forgotten his name, but just the way he is also vocal, the same way we also have the likes of Kenneth Okonkwo, very vocal in those in that Labour Party. So having this kind of statement coming from this angle, people are really believing that there's a serious sabotage going on. That's in the anti-party going on in that LP. We try to force people to reduce the strength of the party, and this appears to be one of them. So the Labour Party National Executive Council, led by Alhaji Bashiru Lamidi Apapa, has suspended the spokesperson of the party's presidential campaign council Kenneth Okonkwo, and 11 other party executives over what he described as unruly behavior against Alhaji Lamidi Apapa's leadership. So the suspension was announced at one of its meetings on Wednesday in Bauchi State. The 12 members were suspended for alleged anti-party activities and unruly behavior against Alhaji Lamidi. So this suspension, because of their attitude towards him, that was why they're having this suspension. So, Peter, how do you say it? Because then he was actually the person suspended Okonkwo right now was actually suspended by the party.
So I don't know, but I'll just say maybe he's exercising his last power.
Okay. When it comes to party activity, a lot of drama here and there. And also you see, again, Labour Party disowns a Papa-led faction. This same person saying suspending people, the LP disown his faction, that we don't know him, So the finger to APC governors actually working, sponsoring the Papa in this regard. So it says attempt to hold illegal neck in Bauchi doomed to fail. So that was the meeting that was held where they come up with suspension of Okonkwo and 11 others. So there's a really big issue in that party with all this going on forth and back. It's a big issue because if that party does not put themselves together the way the matter is in court right now, it's going to have a grave consequences in that. And then even the peradventure, for example, the court declares Obi the winner of that election, for example. This also creates issue for them in that party. They're having this issue, except something happened now. So, Mr. Peter, we just watch them and see how it's everything on foods. And I know we talked about this earlier today that the budgets, the Senate approving that huge amount of money, just 26 days to handing over. It was very, very inappropriate. At least they were using their discretion to not to approve that. So the story is in Punch. Just will have it in Vanguard and Channels News Online. It's also in Punch newspaper. You can see right there. So moving on, let's look at this other story. We talked about police arrest Osun twins for courtesan. I want to talk about courtesan. These are twins from same parent. So, and then they're into this courtesan, which is really ravaging the most area in the country. It's likely talked about, but it's really fighting hard. As I was having a chat with somebody yesterday. He was telling me what happened around the last one. So these guys came to the restaurant and then took the chairs, and they're not buying anything anyway. They took the chair away from the restaurant and take it somewhere close by and started there were just monitoring people here and there. And the customer coming to buy stuff, there was no chair for them to sit. So one that asked the guys, please give us chair to give to my customer. And they licked on, they started beating the guy up. They beating him up, injure his face. And as I speak, that matter is still ongoing right now. I think police is involved. The way they go about some of these things is really unruly, and it is allowed to continue. It's going to bring very damaging, create more damage into the system that we have already. So I don't know. Have you had any experience with them?
Me?
Yes, any of these?
Not at all.
Okay. So, and we see now police arresting these two twins, those two family members in this kind of, in this kind of issue. It's a big thing. And it's serious, and I think we should be nipped in the bud. The police should really swing into action and ensure this does not continue. And of course, if this continue and every family is saying family members are involved in all this, it won't really give. It's a danger. The story is in the Punch. You already said the Osun State Police Command on Wednesday paraded a set of twins, Taiwo and Kehinde Adeleke, and 7 other suspects arrested in different parts of the state for these activities. So I believe police on the case, and we hope that this will be taken care of soon as. Okay, so Peter, we're about to round up this morning session of this headlines paper view. So let me ask you, You know, I know earlier you told me that your major, the one that taught you was the aspect of the harassment that some of these people were suffering that had been evacuated from the war-torn Sudan through Egypt, which we know that some of them have already arrived. And so, which other one do you want to talk about? Want to mention?
I think we saw in news about the Edo police training their officers on how to use weapon. I think that also that should be applied to all police in the country, not to Edo State alone. You understand? Not to Edo State alone, because you remember the story of that lady that was shot at Ajah, was it early this year?
Yeah. Our teams were it was a lawyer, right?
Yes.
And she was pregnant also.
Yes. So it's very important. Edo State, I'm giving you people kudos to that.
Yes, so the training officers in weapon handling professionalism,
Very
important. Because when you give a man a weapon and the man does not have psychologically sound, you are creating a danger. You are creating how do I put it now? That's very dangerous.
Very, very.
So apart from this training that's going on, I think psychological training should also take place.
Just like when you travel outside, if you see people protesting, the police people that will come out, they will only come out with baton.
And this shield,
yes,
glass shield, you can see through.
You hardly see them with ammunition guns. But in Nigeria, when they are coming out of protest, you see them armed as if they are going
for war fronts.
They are going for war.
This is why I keep using the word that one will have a vibrant head, vibrant president. That all this can be fixed. Can be just simple order. Can be fixed. But that's what we say. But I hope this will really yield a good result. And while they are being trained on this, also they'll also be taught when to use and when not to use them. Yes, you can't just train people and say, yeah, this is how to kill the criminal. I can't tell the person that it's not everyone that has ugly face as a criminal. That has that all over his face as a criminal, You must know, able to psychologically understand who is a criminal and who is not. Because, I think it's a good development and
very good development.
Yeah. So you're still watching the Prime Media, and we've actually gone through a lot of stories making the round today. A lot of them, but there's still more. But if you can log on to this site, you're able to see some of those other stories. Mr. Peter, this story of Indomie brand that is cancerous is still making the round, and the story is still trending. So I don't know. I hope some of you have not consumed this Indomie, which NAFDAC have said that this was not approved. But the question I keep asking, how did it make its way into the market? As we speak now, this has been consumed by a lot of people. So I also saw one of the news. I'm not sure the site where I saw it from, but I'm going to look for it again. That says that you should get ready for the spread of cancer, because this brand that the agency have confirmed that has this content that can cause cancer has been consumed by a lot of people already. Which if indeed what they're saying is correct, indeed we should expect such. And this is not good at all. This is terrible.
No, God has his way of protecting his own.
And brother, like, get some fight when God will fight for you. You get some fight when you need to fight by yourself.
No, now at least now you are aware. You understand? Yeah. Now you are aware that this noodles can contribute cancer to someone's system, so you stop consuming it.
So there is doing chicken. What's it called? Chicken flavor. Chicken flavor. So you that always don't want to cook or do pounded yam, want to call it eat fast food. Indomie an egg. So you need to watch it right now. For now, we just don't eat noodles, but this particular brand, I think if you have it, you should just suspend. Don't even touch it for now, okay? Until we've got a clear green light from the agency before we can proceed. So of course, go to veggies, do pando, go to do a bar, turn it, prepare good soup, good meal.
In Nigeria now.
Yes. Like
To
for
give you
those,
strength.
like those from Edo, we do pando, yam, and fufu mixed together. Prepare better bonum, toast it and fire down. So then, of course, if you had enough money, do you see pepper soup, carry and get the rice. So I want this man to be hungry. That's why I'm saying all this. I want to get hungry, man.
No, we in Nigeria here, we know where we get this thing.
Oh, okay.
Very
Okay, so yeah, thanks for joining on this episode. We appreciate your presence and always following us, and we hope we are at least bringing some of these gist to you, and you appreciate them, and we'll keep bringing them to you. Okay, but for today, we're going to call it a day here for this money episode. We have some other stories, but we can't just keep all because of the timing. And of course, you remember when the president-elect was saying that he will not marginalize anyone. He said that I will not marginalize any part of Nigeria, and he has promises. And that's what we want to see. We want to see a president that will see everybody as as one. That we are all Nigerians. We are born in this country. We own the country together. Whatever we find here and find in this country belongs to all of us. I keep praying this prayer that God should allow the wealth of this nation to go around. You can't be in a source of money, land filled with abundance, and you are lacking, you're suffering. It doesn't make sense to me. And so I believe that if virtually is sworn in, he will hold on to this statement and, ensure that even those that voted, those that didn't vote, or be treated as Nigerians. That's what we want, because this is where we're having issues in the country, where some people are being given top priorities and others are neglected. Of course, if you are the one, you get angry. If you, as Nigerians, you have been neglected, where positions have been given out, because of course we see that position in Nigeria is given out. Most cases, is given out. Only that. Anyway, we're going to call it today here. Thanks for joining us. You have a beautiful time, Peter.
Yes, so
okay. Have a wonderful day ahead. Catch you next time.